Сейчас мы поговорим с музыкантом, композитором и художником Анхелем Онтальвой. И нам придется перейти на английский язык. Заранее прошу прощения за ошибки. So, Анхель, the first question I wanted to ask, is it your real name? Does it really mean angel? Okay, it's his real name. Does it really mean angel?
It's a very common name in Spain. You know, Spain was traditionally a very Catholic country, so people like these names with angels and saints and Jesus too. My brother was called Jesus.
Whoa.
Like, yes, in other countries you can't even say it, no? But there is very common.
So,
And out of Spanish speaker countries, I have a lot of jokes about it. You're an angel.
you are now here in Novosibirsk, in Академгородок, and you'll have a concert at Чердачок soon. 16 сентября на Чердачке будет концерт в 8 часов вечера. Всех приглашаем. How people should prepare for your concert? What should they wait for?
Well, I'm going to play compositions that I did through the years, inspired by my travels here. I came here around 40 times, and I traveled in all the country, and I had a lot of personal experiences and so many landscapes and so on. And this inspired me music. So it's like this. Imagine that you enter in this kaleidoscope train, and you try to see colors and landscapes in my music, and that's all. Close your eyes and listen. And I think you need no more preparation than that. I'm better known maybe for my avant-garde work, but this I will play a bit of experimental things, but it's mostly beautiful ballads.
It's carefully prepared music, or it will be improvisation?
Yes, I will improvise a little bit, and there is a bit of improvisation always in a bit percent even in my composition, but it's 90% composed.
Okay, and it's said that you will present melancholic ballades. So are they sad? Should people be sad listening to them?
No, because it's not that kind of melancholic. It's not so sad. It's like when you had a beautiful trip and it's the moment to say goodbye, and you are a bit sad because you are leaving, but you are full of nice emotions, and I hope. It's not so sad. It's not for crying. You don't need
But you can if you want.
Of course. I was 3 months ago. I was playing in Irkutsk, and after the concert, a girl came from the audience, and she was crying. She was crying because the impact, the emotional impact of the music was great. What to say? I didn't know what to do. I'm sorry.
Maybe it was crying for happiness.
Yes. She was very impressed and came to me to tell me, and she was with big tears falling.
Oh, it's great.
So you can cry if you want. Not everybody at the same time, because I will be depressed.
Okay, one by one, please.
Yes.
What does inspire you here in Russia for music, for art?
People. It's the best in everywhere. I mean, in everywhere there is good food and good landscapes, but people is the most important. My father was living here many years, so since I was a child, I was listening about Russia. It was kind of mythological, legendary place for us, for we kids. And when my father was in fury with us, he spoke in Russian. So for us was the language of fury. I never knew what he was speaking about until I came here. And I started to ask people, my father used to tell me this, what it means.
imagine.
Yeah, no, you can't. So, well, and then I think it was 8 years ago I had the offer to come here for a tour in Russia with a group of international artists. And I knew people here in this travel and people linked with culture. And I started to have more offers to come here, and each person that I knew in this field opened a new door for me. And that's how I'm here. I always have things to do here. I always have interested audiences. Even I was professionally working in drawing and painting since very young, and at some point I was very tired and I stopped to this and focused only in music. And being here, I was offered to make an exhibition in Nizhny Novgorod. This was 5 years ago, and I started to paint again here. And I did something like 10 exhibitions here. So it is very inspiring. I'm kind of trapped here because I always have a lot of things to do here.
Have you managed to learn some words? Do you want to learn the language?
No, you know, when I came here for the first time, I didn't speak English at all. I didn't study English at the school. I studied French, so I never opened a grammar book, and everything I learned here. So I don't know, everybody like you speaks good English around me. And
What do you think about Russian rock?
I know nothing. I know nothing. I heard a little bit of this. One of my good friends here is Sergei Leto. So I played with him, and but I heard very little about his brother, more famous brother.
I've heard at one interview with you on Astrakhan TV that you feel everywhere at home. And what does make home to you? What is
Home is where I can be there with my guitar, and you know, I'm at home in everywhere. I'm not a patriot. I don't have nationalist feelings. I don't feel that I'm better because I was born here or there. So I don't believe in flags and borders, and you know, I feel proud of my country when we talk about food. Our food and our wine is the best in the world. This, yes. And some of our painters are super great. But I feel well in everywhere, because people is the same in everywhere, you know. People is... we believe that people is so culturally different, racially different, that we all are... No, we are the same. Everybody has the same dreams, the same wish to be happy and to have their place in life. And this is the same in everywhere. And so there is good people in everywhere, and I feel good where good people is. What else to say?
But when we tell about food,
Well, we are, yes, this is another thing, yes, of course.
Well, food is another thing.
Food is important, but maybe not the most important thing.
What do you think about Russian food? Borscht and
This is not my favorite.
пельмешки.
I think, well, food is like clothes, or is good for the place you live. You know, borscht is great for this climate, and this is very extreme, very hard climate. No? So I think you have the best. I don't think it's super tasty. Do you like it very much?
If it's prepared good.
Maybe most of my experience is eating stolovayas on the road.
Maybe it's not the best.
Maybe it's not the best.
Okay, and can you name a couple of artists from Russia, from Spain, the ones who inspires you?
Musicians.
Musicians, painters.
Well, I don't know. I like classical music, especially from 20th century. This I like very much. Stravinsky. The first years of Stravinsky is great. Prokofiev, super good. This kind of thing. So I like very much Debussy. It's like coming from another planet. And then I like the Beatles. You know, the Beatles did something very great at some point when they did this Revolver or Sgt. Pepper. If you listen to this music now, it's full of electronic experiments, and it's pop music with lyrics that sometimes are not very polite, or are talking about some dark aspects of life, of persons. And the music, they mix orchestral things with electronic things in a way that they you know this song, for example, called Strawberry Fields Forever? They managed to make all, I don't know, housekeepers and grannies listening this song in the kitchen of their houses. How they did it is super weird. It's not, it's not mainstream for the standards of today, of nowadays.
And your own music, the one that you will present in Академгородок here, is it more for careful, quiet listening or for dancing?
This music, as I'm going to play solo with my guitar, is more for, I think, for listening. All depends upon your own feelings, if you want to dance.
Okay.
But maybe it's not so easy to feel this need to dance with only a guitar player, with ballad. But you can do what you prefer. I will be glad if you dance.
What is for you the most important thing on your concert?
Most important is people enjoying and being satisfied. What else can be? You know, music is like life. There are tears and there's joy and all this palette of emotions. And music should transmit all this. So I don't pretend that everybody must be so joyful. But at least after the concert, you go with the impression that you received something from me, something new that you had not before.
And what would you say to your audience, the one that you will see this Friday at Чердачок? Some wish, maybe some few words.
Well, look, when I did my first exhibition here in Nizhny Novgorod, I had very little time for preparing. So I had 1 month for painting everything. And I took a lot of photos in Moscow, in the metro, in the Elektrichka, and I painted people. And I remember in the exhibition, some ladies looking there, saying, why he paint us so hard? We are not like this, and no, you are like this. I painted the truth. I have the photos that can prove it. I painted the truth. So the people like to think that it's my exotic vision as a foreigner. I'm a foreigner, so I have my particular vision. Maybe my vision is something from outside that paints the truth. You know, I don't know really, as you know, your culture, your life. So I come here and paint what I see. And in music, I think my music that is inspired here is true, is honest. So what you are going to listen is what all this, the life here, inspired to me without filters. And I think it's very beautiful emotions.
Thank you. Так что, друзья, приходите в эту пятницу, 16 сентября, в 8 часов на Чердачок. Садитесь в поезд и отправимся вместе в это увлекательное и правдивое путешествие по России вместе с Анхелем Онтальвой.